time change, right? I remember
Yeah.
always coming here in the middle of pitch black, and now I'm driving over here.
I can still see.
So, yeah, sol. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and start.
Yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning and Zoning Board of the City of West Miami, March 28th, 2023, 7:30 p.m. My name is Gustavo Ceballos, and I am joined by Eugenio Gonzalez
Yes.
and Diana Rio.
Yes, here.
We'll go ahead and,
This evening, so he could be excused.
okay.
And Ms. Milian, I believe she's not going to be able to make it either.
Okay. We have approval of minutes.
Continued, I didn't have time to finish.
Understood. Agenda item 1, are we?
We could start with new business,
Okay.
and that way we could go back to agenda item number 1 under old business.
Okay. You want to call that item?
Agenda item number 1 is property address is 1075 Southwest 67th Avenue, National Plumbing Supply. Applicant is requesting a sign permit for the business to replace the pole sign faces with the new sign for the business. Application is for 50 square feet, as allowed by ordinance 282, section 22. The sign face usage is 50 square feet, of the 50 square feet allowed. You have the application, Mr. Tony Lopez is here to represent his request. Name and address for the record, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you for having me here. Anthony Lopez for National Plumbing Supply, Inc. It's 1075 Southwest 67th Avenue. And this is my first time, so I'm not sure what I need to do. But I'm here to request permission or a permit to put the sign on the pole sign and on the face of the building also. This, the
Yeah,
one
the
on-
first one is the pole sign.
Okay,
So
and
the
it's
pole
on
sign-
both sides.
The dimensions are changing, it's just what's on there is changing.
Right, there's nothing changed, no electrical
Just the
change,
face,
everything.
the-
Only the
the-
face.
The structure of the sign is 5 feet by 10 feet.
I have a question. The additional signage that we see here, another pole sign that says in vertical letters, plumbing showroom, is that existing or is that new?
No, that's what's proposed.
So he's proposing to change the face of the existing horizontal one and also the vertical one? There's gonna be 2 pole signs on here?
No, one pole sign that says National Plumbing Supply. The other one that you're seeing where it says plumbing and showroom, that's his property next door, a separate building. And that's the pole sign for that property. The one you're seeing on that page that you see the background where it says plumbing and showroom,
Yeah?
that's a separate building.
Oh,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is 2 businesses.
oh, okay.
Okay.
That's on a separate property.
I see, okay.
He owns both.
Okay.
She's referring to the one that you could see in the background, your pole sign from the business at 1185 is the address?
Yeah, 1085,
Right, 1085.
105. The one that you see there, Marine Supplies, Aventura Fishing, is the existing.
Right.
From the prior business that.
Correct.
We took over, and we just want to replace the face on both sides with the one that follows, that says, we just took close-up pictures of it, so we could actually see it. National Plumbing Supply, page number 3.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think actually the phone number and the email address are a little bit too small for to
It's
be
fine.
able to see it from that far away. I can see the name clearly, but I think the phone number is a little small.
It's funny that you say that. I think aesthetically, if you removed all of that and maybe increase the size of NPS, I think aesthetically it may look nicer. Because I agree. I don't think anybody driving by is gonna see that. If they see it and they're interested, they're just gonna look up National Plumbing Supply. But I have no issue with it.
Now, if I take your recommendation, do I need to come back if I just kind of remove that and just make it, I mean,
I'm not saying that you need to do that. That's just
No,
me.
No, that's
giving
just
an
a comment.
opinion.
Yeah.
no.
But I think that the sign's the same thing. The pole, I think staff was recommending you get painted.
Yes,
Okay,
Correct.
so then I
Painted.
think my biggest issue is frankly the pole. So if the pole gets painted, I personally don't have an issue with the sign.
I like things to be elegant and clean and
I mean, I think your
minimalism.
sign would be more elegant and clean without the small font on the bottom. Maybe increase the size of the NPS logo and make it a simpler looking sign. But at the end of the day, whatever you think is appropriate for your business, I'm not gonna get in
But
the way.
if I choose to do what you both are not recommended, but,
Suggest.
your idea, suggestion,
You wouldn't
can-
have to come back.
I don't, because I like the idea of what you're saying. I have a boss, so I gotta talk to her. No, not my wife, but I have a boss there. Even though I have two bosses, one at home and one at,
That's usually how it works.
yeah. And the boss really good.
Does anybody have any other questions for the applicant? Then I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve it?
I second.
All right. Can we have a roll call?
Eugenio Gonzalez,
Yes.
Diana Rio,
Yes.
and Gustavo Ceballos.
Yes. So then the
Thank
second
you.
one is the horizontal sign.
Yes.
The building sign,
The
yes.
building sign.
Did you need to read that into the record, or did you read both of them?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Oops, and typo there. Item number 2. National Plumbing Supply, property address 1075 Southwest 67th Avenue. Applicant requests a sign permit for the business, for the business owner to install PVC architectural letters for the building sign for the business. Application is 59.8 square feet of the front elevation as allowed by ordinance 282, section 22. Sign uses 59.8 square feet of the allowed 262 square feet, which is 30% of the front elevation.
Is there any lighting on the sign, or no?
At this moment, there's no lighting.
Okay.
Well, there's two lights, but they're on the bottom, underneath the canopy.
Understood?
Eventually, I do wanna, I'll get a permit for that, but I do wanna put some lighting,
Okay.
something like that.
My only concern is that the sign just, we can't have exposed conduit. But if, right now, there's nothing being proposed with any sort of conduit, you're good.
No, there's no
And I
conduit.
assume you're not keeping the paddle board on top of the,
No, that's not there anymore.
No, that's not there.
That's a previous picture.
I had to live with that, the people next door, oh my goodness. But
okay?
Okay.
Anyone have any questions for the applicant?
No.
No.
Building has been washed and painted also.
Great.
yeah.
Then I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the sign as proposed.
I second the motion.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Diana Rio,
Yes.
Eugenio Gonzalez,
Yes.
and Gus Ceballos.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, have a good
You're
night.
welcome.
Thank you. Can I say something off the record?
Of course.
I would like to be part of this board committee one day. I mean, I don't live here, but I do own the building, I spend more time here than I do at home.
Just get, contact one of the commissioners from, the city commission and let them know your interest.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
I hold 5 licenses and I'm an architect, so I think I could put some sense or some ideas.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Going back to old business, item number 1 under old business, continued from previous meeting of February 28th. review of the existing ordinance, section 4A, regarding recreational vehicles, work vehicles, and parked on private property or in public right-of-ways in residential areas. I went ahead and I copied the section out of zoning ordinance 282, which deals with common regulations to R1 and R2, A and C use districts. The actual section that we're dealing with is for the R1 and R2. A does not allow commercial vehicles, and C does allow commercial vehicles for business purposes. The ordinance that exists, based on the criteria that the commission is looking at, they want to restrict the parking of vehicles, commercial vehicles, in the residential areas. There are some areas that I have put strike through, which I think you'll agree, which is just where areas that will make the ordinance a little bit tighter, and options that were given before also I put strike throughs, such as repair the boats or equipment done on property. So, I mean, we could discuss the whole ordinance, or this section as it exists, and the changes that you see that I've made with the knowledge that I have from discussions with the city commission on what they were looking for. Once this is agreed to, then we will give it to Mr. Villalobos to draft an ordinance for your review and then submittable to the city commission.
Just a question.
Yes, sir.
So 4A3, it shall be unlawful for any person to park any truck, trailer, or other commercial vehicle in or upon public right-of-way or private property, except in a private paved driveway. Do we currently allow parking of any sort of vehicle on private property that is not paved?
Boats and trailers.
Okay.
The whole purpose is that if you have a vehicle that's coming to your property to work on your property or to deliver something, you have the ability to park it on the street or even on the private property. What they don't want is for a vehicle like, say, Comcast decides to give you a bucket truck as a work truck. They don't want you to be able to bring it home and park it in your right-of-way or on your private property. Because right now, we restrict it on private property, but if you park it in the right-of-way and it's legally parked, if you exceed the weight limit, then we can restrict it in that fashion, but there's no other restrictions for commercial type vehicles in residential areas.
So what do we define as a truck? Not a pickup truck?
No, not a pickup truck. Anything over a half ton to 3/4 ton is allowed. Anything over a ton is not allowed. We have to put that restriction in there and that definition in there.
But that's not part of this change?
No,
Okay,
there's more, like I said, there's more to be added.
got it.
This is what was on the books and what the discussions that I've had with them, they would like to see gone from.
mean, I have no issue with the current proposed changes. But
I got a question. How many days the person can keep the camping on the property?
No, you could store the camper on your property. The only restriction, it has to be 23 feet or less.
Okay.
The only restriction is that you can use it as a temporary house when someone visits you for 14 days.
Okay.
But you cannot have usage of it year-round as a apartment or something like that on your property.
How do you keep track of the 14 days?
I'm sorry?
How do you keep track of the 14 days?
In the past, people have been very honest, and they've come and they've actually made us aware that they have family coming in and that they're going to use the trailer for that purpose. So we issue them a permit for it.
Okay, and if not,
It would have to be the code enforcement
The code
officer's
to
observation,
go, okay.
or police observation, anybody that reports it.
okay, do you need a recommendation approval, or are we waiting for the other items?
Really, what I would, from your case, since you do have access to the other city's, ordinance regarding pickup trucks, we would like to see something, because I know that they were challenged on theirs. What final product they ended up with.
The current iteration basically allows any unmodified pickup trucks. The bed must be empty or must be in an enclosed garage, and it cannot be modified and have any commercial markings. So modified means lifted, meaning it has, pipe holders or, extended bed. Any of those items would not be allowed.
And as far as like you said, the markings,
Correct.
wasn't there,
I have to check on that marking.
I
don't
think
know.
there was an overturn on that because of vehicle wraps in the First Amendment.
I'd have to check.
And I think you guys were in trouble for that. So.
Not in the
Or,
last 5
or
years,
the
but
subject
I'll
of,
look at it.
subject of criticism, let's put it that way.
I can look at it, but
Please, if you could, check for me, because, I know that that's one of the items that they wish to restrict, the markings on vehicles. But I know that the county requires them to have at least their CC number on the vehicle.
Yeah.
okay. Anybody have any other comments?
No.
You don't need any recommendation for us at this point?
Not at this point,
Okay.
we'll incorporate it with the other and, bring it back at the next meeting so you could see the format.
Understood. Anybody else have any new or old business to discuss?
Nope.
Hearing none, meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.